Thursday morning, once again, Life Formation Mission Academy, beloved students, children of God, beloved parents, teachers, and all of you believers of our Lord Jesus Christ, as we gather here this morning to begin our day, I would like to read from Psalm 105, reading from verses 1 and verse 2. It says there in Psalm 105, "Oh, give thanks to the Lord, call upon his name, make known his deeds among the people, sing to him, sing praises to him, speak of all his wonders." Speak of all his wonders. Words are something very important in our lives to be a part of. And these words must always be words that will glorify God and words that will lift up people rather than put them down, rather than always be criticizing. Or sometimes when we answer our parents, we have a the words will show our attitudes. But words, we have to always be careful that we only speak of what is wonderful to God. This is what the psalmist reminds us today. From the gospel today, I would like to pick out our third power for learning key. You know, we have been going through this already for several weeks. And it is important, very important, for you students, even for teachers, to understand that God has given us the power to learn. And so as teachers, we must also remember, because we have that, we also have the power to teach. Because these are both connected. They're one singular activity. And so as we look at this third key, taking off from last week's diligence, power for learning, and before that, discipline, power for learning, today's key wraps and brings together these first two keys in the power for learning and gives us another insight into the ways of God. From the gospel today, reading from the gospel according to Matthew chapter 7, I'll begin from verse 24. It says in the gospel, therefore, Jesus is talking here, therefore everyone who hears these words of mine and acts upon them may be compared to a wise man who built his house upon the rock. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and burst against the house, and yet it did not fall, for it had been founded upon the rock. And everyone who hears these words of mine and does not act upon them will be like a foolish man who built his house upon the sand. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and burst against that house, and it fell, and great was its fall. Third power key for learning is the power key of wisdom. A wise student is a student who equips himself to learn things of God. Because wisdom, as we have been looking at it in Proverbs, is a very important trait. It shows to us here in this very simple parable that Jesus talks about the wise builder against the foolish builder. It simply states that the wise builder builds his house upon the rock. You see, building upon the rock is not easy. It's easier to build on sand because it's easier to dig. Sand is soft, much softer than rock. Sand can easily be transported. Rock comes in big chunks and it's really very difficult. But when you have built your house upon the rock, you can see that no matter what storms or earthquakes come, we can stand. You see, If you remember, about 2 weeks ago, there was this storm called Kiko, and before that storm was Storm Julina. And these two storms damaged so many homes in our country, in other areas, not here in Metro Manila, but in many parts of the country. And then the other night, several nights ago, there was a strong earthquake in Mindoro. And all of these natural catastrophes tests the foundation of structures that are built. If the structure is not built on a good foundation, then it will crash or be destroyed or damaged. But if it's built on a strong foundation, then it will stand. You see, wisdom builds on the things of God by obeying and acting upon it. It's not just knowing it in our minds, ay, alam ko na yan. But it is really acting it in life. All of us, we know that we have to study. All of us know that we have to do our homework. All of us know that we have to follow our parents. We all know this in our minds. But that's not wisdom. Wisdom is acting on what we know. Whatever things that we learn from our parents or teachers, when we begin to act upon them, that is called wisdom. And that is what will build the house. This is your life, the house upon the rock, strong and firm, so that later on, when the storms of life will come, when there will be tests in your life, you will begin to see that when you have acted on wisdom, your life will be firm and will not be moved. Whatever temptation, whatever trial, whatever tests, you will continue to see all of the principles that we have learned here in the years of your stay in Life Formation Mission Academy. All of what you have learned during Mass times, the Mass and the homilies that we have heard. All you have learned from your parents and the teachings they give and from the teachers on everything that they say. All of these are all part of that building process that will make you a wise builder when you build it upon the rock. When you begin to apply them and do them in your life. May you begin to act upon and practice everything that we are learning. Remember, the power key of wisdom is something very important. Diligence, and before that, discipline, all point to wisdom. Because when we are wise, we will eventually also bring out, with discipline and diligence, the things that we should be doing in our lives. May we have a blessed day in our learning, in the subjects, and learning in everything that we do today. God bless you.